I'm Mike Huckman at the Bio Bus Center, and it is a privilege to welcome the President and the CEO of the Biotechnology Innovation Organization, Bio, here at its annual international meeting. Jim Greenwood, thank you for being here.
Thanks for having me. Fun.
So you're back in San Francisco, obviously.
Yeah.
Why is that not only a big deal for the organization, but also for the life sciences and biotechnology sector as a whole?
Sure. First time we've been here in 12 years. And we had to wait until they built this convention center big enough because our convention has grown so large, 16,000 people coming. But this is the birthplace of biotechnology. This is where it all started with guys like Stan Cohen and Herb Boyer, intellectual property coming out of the universities and starting these little companies. So there are about 3,000 biotech companies here in San Francisco. Half of all of the ones in California are here. 250,000 people in the life sciences working right here. And then you surround that with all of the IT folks, Silicon Valley folks, and the intersection between information technology and biotechnology is like, this place is cooking.
Here at the conference, you issued essentially a call to action, I think, to the attendees, telling them, urging them to change the way they communicate to the outside world when it comes to telling the world what the biotechnology sector does.
That's right.
Tell me about that.
So, we do these incredible things. Cancer rates down by 25%. Used to be if you had HIV, you're dead soon. Now you get infected with HIV in your 20s, you live to your 70s. Vaccinations, an amazing number of things that we've been able to do. We have this huge unmet need though. Alzheimer's, diabetes, ALS, people dying and suffering. Cancer still killing us left and right. The good news is the science cannot be stopped. We're galloping with the science. And I have no doubt that there isn't a disease on this planet that we can't treat and ultimately cure. Look at hepatitis C. That virus, you know what? In our lifetime, it'll be gone from the planet, right? So we can do it. The only trouble we have is bad policy, okay? And bad policy comes from short-sighted politicians who say, some of these drugs are expensive. Well, you know what? They have to be expensive because it's almost impossible to make them. 90% of our companies and our projects fail. So some of our products are expensive. So what's happening? Alongside that, you have the Affordable Care Act, Obamacare, and the insurance industry having to raise their premiums. So they don't like to take the blame, so they try to find a scapegoat, and they found that in us. So they're pounding away at us and saying the reason that your insurance premiums are going up is because drug prices are going up. Just not so. In fact, in 2015, the net price of drugs increased only 2.8%. Insurance premiums went up a lot more than that.
I think like 2x, versus that.
Exactly. So, and that's primarily coming from hospital costs and doctors' costs, all right? So if we just stand back and say, blame us, tell us our prices are too high, get the politicians to impose price controls, you know what will happen? The investors will not invest in us, the scientists won't have the resources, and all of those diseases that plague and murder us now will continue to plague and murder us for the foreseeable future. So we're not going to let that happen.
Let's dig a little bit more into the pricing discussion, though. That's certainly very front burner in this election year. What impact, if any, do you think all the campaign rhetoric is having on the biotechnology sector?
We're under the worst pressure we've ever been under. And I am fearful that this campaign will end up having politicians, whether it's our next president, members of Congress, committed to doing stupid things about pricing, okay? And so here's what we want them to start thinking about, and this is what our campaign is about. If you go to the drugstore with your prescription and you hand it in and the pharmacist says, okay, that'll be $300. And you say, $300? What am I supposed to get $300? $300 per prescription like that? Well, it costs $1,000 and the insurance company is only covering $700. So who do you want to be mad at? Do you want to be mad at us because the drug costs $1,000, or you want to be mad at your insurance company for not covering it? And our point is, there's your problem. Now let's fix it together.
But then why is the biotechnology sector the whipping boy then?
Well, I think there's a pretty interesting answer to that. I served in Congress for 12 years, and before that in the state legislature for 12 years. In every congressional district, there are hospitals and there are doctors, right? A couple times a year, you put on your tuxedo, you go to the hospital ball, right? You interface with those people.
Some of them are in Congress.
Some of them are in Congress, right? The biotechnology industry is not evenly distributed geographically. So it's right here in San Francisco, it's in San Diego, and Boston, right? But there are many members of Congress who don't have any drug companies in their district, right? So we become an easy target that way. And we're also an easy target because the crazy thing is you go to a hospital and you have a $50,000 surgical procedure, right? You might pay nothing, right? But you get your drug co-pays, you pick up your prescription, and you got this big co-pay, this co-insurance, so it's coming out of your pocket. So who are you going to be mad at? You're going to be mad at the drug companies. But we think you should be mad at your insurance company, and we're going to make that happen.
All righty. We are ending every interview here at the Buzz Center at this year's meeting by asking guests like yourself to fill in the blank. Your theme this year is one word, imagine.
Right.
So Jim Greenwood, imagine what?
I imagine a world with no disease, with no hunger, and no pollution. And I know that biotechnology can get us there because we can heal, we can feed, and we can fuel this planet.
Awesome. Jim Greenwood, thanks for joining us here at the BioBuzz Center.
Thank you.